Afterwards, we have a question that everyone is being presented is, can you operate within the mayor's proposed budget? And then if you have any words you'd like to speak before presenting, feel free. The floor is yours.
Time I had trouble with this. I've got such a soft voice. I want to make sure you all can hear me. Councilman Pridemore, Chair of the Budget and Finance, members of the council, I want to thank you for allowing us to be here to discuss the Office of Emergency Management's budget for FY16. My name is Richard White, and I'm the Interim Director, Chief of the Nashville Fire Department. With me today, to my right, I have Fire Department Finance Manager Leanne Hager. In addition, I'd like to recognize Laura Faust, who's the Finance Officer for the Office of Emergency Management, and here on out I'm going to call it OEM. As a bit of background, the Nashville Fire Department assumed administrative control and responsibility of the Office of Emergency Management on April 30th, 2014. And it's been our pleasure and honor to be tasked with such an important duty, and it is an important duty. OEM's main responsibilities are to prepare, train, and coordinate resources in the event of citywide emergencies. They do a heck of a lot of planning. There's a national response plan that FEMA has put out, and every state organization and county organization, emergency management agency, has to mesh with that national response plan. And there's a lot of labor-intensive work to make sure that we here in Nashville mesh with that plan, and I can proudly say that we do. I think I can also say the efforts of OEM were on display earlier this year. As you all know, in February and March, we were hit with two major ice and snowstorms that put all this training, coordination, and the personnel with OEM to the test. In February, we activated the Emergency Operations Center for 10 full days. Now, that's the longest activation since the flood of 2010, so it was a prolonged period. With bitter cold and dangerous ice blanketing the city, OEM brought together critical departments like the Emergency Communications Center, Fire and Police, Public Works, Water, NES. A lot of efforts from different organizations went into this, and of course one of the big tasks with OEM is to coordinate those efforts. We instituted cold patrols with fire and OEM during this time frame, and also with police personnel. They were out overnight looking for the homeless and those called out in the elements. We worked with private and nonprofit resources like Room at the Inn, local churches, to ensure that anyone who wanted a warm bed was able to find shelter during these bitter cold nights, and they were bitterly cold. We organized the opening of an additional emergency shelter at the fairgrounds. Now, that shelter served as a primary shelter for those folks who were out in the elements, homeless or whatever, that were picked up by PD and other resources. They were transported to that overflow center there so they could at least be warm and get fed. We also coordinated for the first time ever the feeding of hundreds of students who normally relied on Metro Nashville Public Schools for a meal. Working with schools, metro parks, organizations like Second Harvest Food Bank, we set up multiple food and comfort centers for those who might not otherwise have a warm meal with schools being closed. And we provided residents with comprehensive regular briefings on current weather conditions, forecasts, and any information on how to stay safe. And the primary emphasis during those media PSAs or whatever was to keep people safe. It was a total team effort. And I hope you'll agree with me that our response kept residents safe and informed during what could have been a very difficult weather event. Unfortunately, it wasn't the end of winter weather. In March, we activated for another 4 days for inclement weather. Fortunately, we were able to build on the experiences provided earlier in February during March, and that storm to provide what I believe was another satisfactory outcome. I cannot understate how proud I am to have experienced the dedication and teamwork on display during these two events. And it is really good in a city our size when you see multiple departments actually coordinating together, working with each other, and the common end is to keep folks safe. And I think they did an outstanding job, all organizations involved in that. Most importantly, I'm proud to say we had 0 weather-related deaths in the city of Nashville during these two dangerous winter storms. Now, that's a testament not only to the efforts of those who worked during those winter storms, but also to the residents of Nashville who acted with patience and caution, and for that I thank all of them. These two storms were an excellent opportunity for the public to see what OEM is capable of achieving. But the majority of what they do is behind the scenes. OEM is continually looking for ways to improve how we can prepare and respond to emergencies. In the last fiscal year, we participated in 5 emergency exercises with public, private, and government agencies. And we coordinated numerous external training programs such as the National Disaster Awareness for caregivers of senior citizens. OEM has also participated in several large-scale plans such as continuity of operations plans, revisions to the LP Field Multi-Departmental Emergency Response Plan, and continuing to fine-tune our homeless severe weather planning. We've coordinated with Public Works to ensure that our community hotline will be staffed 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, even during citywide emergencies. For reference, that number for the community hotline is area code 615-862-8750. OEM is unusual in Metro as that is largely funded through a combination of state and federal grants. But it does draw some funding from Metro, and we thank the mayor and the council and ongoing support of our efforts. While we hope that OEM services are not needed again, we must continue our efforts to make sure this city is trained, prepared, and equipped to respond as the need arises. We look forward to continuing our mission in the next year to improve our emergency preparedness, strengthen cooperation between departments, and partner with those in the private and nonprofit sectors to keep this city safe. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Chief. I'll open the floor up to any council members have any questions. Seeing none, then I thank you for your presentation, Chief, and I think you're going to stick around for one more. So,
yes, sir.
We certainly appreciate it. Stand by. We have a latecomer. Councilman Pardue.
Oh, no, it's on the next bill. I won't be first.
No. You'll need to push it again. Okay.
Councilman, you don't mind if I pencil that down, do you?
Sorry, Your Majesty. It don't work, man. You cut me off.
I don't feel the need to reintroduce myself, but once again, I do want to thank Budget and Finance Chair and Budget and Finance Committee for allowing us to present our upcoming budget for FY16. On behalf of more than 1,100 men and women who've dedicated themselves to public safety of our residents, I want to thank you for your ongoing support of our mission. And I want to take the opportunity to first and foremost thank our firefighters, our paramedics, everybody in the field, people out of